you raided, well, kind of stole some animals to free them.
It took us like about half an hour to get in, so we were jumping fences. We'd go on a specific map that we knew that had directions on how to get in, what was around. So,
wow. Would you do it again or probably not? But yeah, as I was saying earlier, like when I was born, the doctor looked at me, then looked at my mum and said, "I'm sorry, Janine, we've got bad news. Your son's been born with a brain that's the size of a peanut." But anyways, welcome back to Outspoken, everyone. Today we are joined by a very special, beautiful, friendly, smart, intelligent boss woman, Lauren Mcgeachin. Welcome. I'm glad I pronounced her name right. I had to ask her before the show because her name's spelt a bit like mine, you know, a bit funny, you know, not in a bad way, but it's just hard to pronounce, so.
It's a very unique last name.
I'm glad that I asked before. Thank you for coming on.
Thank
you
you
look lovely.
Me. Thank you.
As always.
So do you.
Oh, here we go.
So do you both.
I feel like
so
I
we
should
both.
be here.
I'm like,
She's looking at me. She gave me a compliment, Alex. I'm sorry.
Okay.
You look good. You look okay.
Thank you. I needed that.
And also, without forgetting, of course, we have God, aka Alex, my good friend and the podcast producer, will be making his podcast debut today. Debut. So, got a lot to talk about. A few cool questions. I know we've met plenty of times and I know a little bit, but I'd like to know more. I want to learn about your ways of life, the vegan side of things, some of the crazy shit you've done, and just get talked into your career, personal life. Ask some cool questions, and I'm sure a lot of people are probably wondering. So for anyone wondering, how long have you been vegan for?
This is my 9th year being
9 years of being vegan. Yeah. How long have you been vegan?
8.
8 years?
Yeah.
So she's more vegan.
You just got me.
I'm a little bit more vegan than you.
I'm really sorry that I brought him. I thought I brought an experienced vegan. I tried.
I'm sorry.
Tried.
I'm doing my best.
It's all right. And what was it that kind of like made you decide you wanted to be like vegan?
I think since I was young, I've always been super passionate about animals and animal welfare. And I think it was a really funny story because I actually was eating at a restaurant and I'd always go to this steakhouse in Townsville, which is where I was born. And I'd always order steak and chips, and they always bring it out medium rare, and they brought it out really, really rare, and there was blood on the plate, and I think I just had a moment of
that was an ick.
Yeah, it was an immediate ick, and I was like, looked at it, and I was like, oh, it's like alive, it's bleeding.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I feel you.
And I had an instant connection, and I was like, wait, how can I be so passionate about what I'm eating, like?
Yeah, because I think it's just natural. It's like, I mean, it's so much different now. I feel like there's a lot more kids being brought up in like vegetarian or vegan families now, but even like you're about the same age as me. You're about 28 or?
Yeah, I'm 30.
You're 30. You're older than me. Oh, wow. Well, at least you look a lot younger. A lot younger. I look really old.
So old.
I look so old, but it's okay.
Wiser and older.
It's okay. He's younger.
How old are you?
I'm 27. Yeah.
Whoa. You're only 228 months.
I know. It's crazy. Hey.
Isn't that nuts? But yeah, I feel like there's a lot more kids being brought up in vegan families and stuff now. But like even going back to when we were a bit younger, similar ages to all of us, you know, it's like you grow up and you just naturally, most families, you just get fed normal milk, cereal, meat, steaks, crap like that.
So staple stuff that you're just used to seeing on billboards, on TV. So we're very conditioned to eat that type of way.
Well, that's what we get programmed. You grow up, you watch the news, and watch programs, TV shows, newspapers, radio. You always hear these things. You don't really hear about all these other things. But I've tried going vegan a few times, like having vegan friends and stuff. Like I just wanted to try it to see if I could do it discipline-wise to begin with and see how I felt. My energy was really good when I did it, but I found I was really bloated all the time. Do you have any tips for being bloated from eating vegan? Is it because of the fiber? I don't know.
It definitely is the fiber. I do struggle with bloating, but I don't know exactly if that's directly with what
aligned
I
with
eat.
that. Yep.
I think obviously as a woman, there's a lot of different like hormones going on. So I actually don't. I guess it just depends on your body type, really.
Yeah. How do you go?
I actually go all right. So I've actually figured this out
Run
recently.
us through like what's your kind of go-to foods?
What I've found is because you don't really eat like yogurt and stuff, you don't have like that probiotic.
Right.
You can eat coconut yogurt.
Like your gut bacteria?
Yeah. So like, do you eat like anything that is fermented or anything like that?
I do have a lot of like kimchi, kombucha, which is good for your gut health.
Interesting.
Kimchi's a bit like sauerkraut?
Yeah, sauerkraut.
Sauerkraut.
Yeah, it's just a different, I don't know why it's called kimchi.
It's good for you though.
It's really good for you.
Very good.
Yeah.
You still get a lot of good things for your gut from it. I think.
Oh,
I don't know.
definitely.
I don't know. It's just like I feel like everyone's bodies responds different to everything. Like there's pescatarian diets. There's I wanted to ask this for people that are watching who might not be very educated in this space. What is the difference between vegan, plant-based, and vegetarian?
So vegetarian is you're still including dairy.
Yep.
So you're still including animal products, but you're just not including meat.
Okay.
And for just plant-based, you're just doing it for the food purpose. So there's no other ulterior motives. You're not vegan for an overall.
Okay.
You're not wearing leather. You're not wearing, fur coats or anything like that. So vegan.
Oh, so plant-based is just the diet side.
That is purely just the food.
Is it the same diet as a vegan diet?
Exactly the same.
Oh, I've got you. So like plant-based means you're just eating purely the foods.
So vegan is technically like an ethical lifestyle.
Yeah, okay.
So it means, to a degree, to put a lot of pressure on yourself to be completely 110% ethical to a point where you don't use plastic, it's difficult.
It's a full lifestyle.
It is.
It's a big commitment. I respect you for doing it. I think it's cool. I struggled when I tried to do it, and that's why I think it's good to have a guest like yourself. I want to learn more. I want to understand it all a bit better. And I think a lot of people watching probably do as well. People are always quick to judge and, I wouldn't say like make fun of, but everyone's like, oh, they're vegan. But it's like, it's becoming a lot more popular, not just for,
100%.
Not even for the people. I know this sounds a bit wrong, but not just because people are very environmental friendly or the animal lover people. It's more like a lot of people, even Alex, like you said, it completely fixed your skin when you were growing up.
Completely. Like when I was younger, I had like cystic acne, like really, really bad.
Really bad.
Really?
It was terrible.
Like I didn't want to be his friend until he got rid of it.
I honestly don't even have any photos from that time because I was so embarrassed. But I tried so many different things.
God, he doesn't have pictures. It was fucking gross.
You didn't even know me then.
I'm just joking. I'm just being a dick.
Fake friend.
Surely someone has.
We'll find
no, I
School
burnt them
teacher.
all.
No, we'll find one. He wants to forget that chapter in his life.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's a terrible time. But yeah, and I had tried so many different things. Like tried like getting rid of gluten, dairy, all that sort of stuff. And then the only thing, like when I got rid of the meat is when it kind of just started to clear up. And now I'm beautiful.
Just you're glowing.
Yeah,
Your
finally
skin does
can
look
take
very good.
photos.
Your skin does look
You're an
very
Instagram
good.
model
Thank
now.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was crazy. No, that was the only thing.
Well, it's interesting that you say that because when I just finished school, I had a similar problem. And I went to all these different people and I was like, my skin's not getting better. And because I was eating a high dairy diet, which is directly linked to a lot of inflammation in your body, which can lead to acne, I was like, I'll cut out dairy and see what happens. My skin started getting better.
Yeah. Did you try any of those acne drugs or anything?
I didn't actually get there because I was like, is this bad enough to go on Accutane?
Do not do it.
There's too much.
Well, that shit can mess your hormones up.
Dude, I honestly, I did it for a year. So you're meant to do it like a 1 year cycle. Then it's meant to fix your skin for like 3 years or something. I was depressed. Like genuinely, like it just shut off all my hormone function, everything. I was so sad all the time. Sucked.
Yeah.
It's
No,
not
I
good.
have heard a lot of stories. My friends have been on it. So it's all the same kind of stories.
Yeah. Well, it's actually that is one of the reasons why I went vegan as well, because I was just thinking about it and they were saying, oh, make sure you're not pregnant, all that sort of
You're
stuff.
not pregnant, are you? You weren't
No,
pregnant.
I
you
wasn't.
lactated?
At that time, I was not pregnant.
At that time, he wasn't.
And I was just like putting two and two together. And I was like, oh, well, like the pill and stuff, it's all hormone blockers and stuff. And it's like, oh, okay, well, what's this doing then?
Yeah.
And then it kind of like started turning. I was like, oh, like hormones and animal products.
You start putting it all together.
Yeah.
I feel
was
like a lot, I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but I feel like a lot of the medications, whether it is for things like acne or whether it's hormone things, it doesn't matter what it is, but I feel like a lot of them, they might help with the problem you're having, but then they're going to create new problems.
Right.
Yeah, it's like a Band-Aid. It's just
a
like
Band-Aid.
fixed you for like 2 seconds, then it's just done.
Well, I know
again.
people that use that. Is it Roaccutane? How do you say it?
Yeah, Accutane, Roaccutane. all
Yeah,
that
I know
sort of
people that used a lot of that when they were younger. You know, like their testosterone levels were completely depleted from it.
Wow.
The estrogen went up. Like hormones were just completely imbalanced. Mood swings. Just felt, like you said, a lot of depression. People didn't want to like, people I knew grew up full, like loving sports, just aggressive, high energy dudes, became like more shells of themselves, stopped playing footy, stopped having that energy. So
Yeah, it's wild stuff, honestly. Like, and there's so much to it. Like, I don't know.
well, there you go, guys.
Conspiracy
So
sort of
a
stuff.
vegan diet can potentially, I'm not going to say definitely, but potentially help clear
We're
up
not,
skin.
we're not doctors.
We aren't doctors.
I might be a doctor.
She might be. She might be a doctor.
You have to find out.
She is smart,
Yeah.
but he's not a doctor.
What?
What?
I
He's a
thought-
trial. He's a human trial experiment.
Yeah.
But yeah, so a vegan diet, I noticed when I did it, there was a lot of benefits and a lot of things that I didn't like about it.
What didn't you like?
What didn't I like?
Yeah.
The bloating. I hated that because like it wasn't bad until the afternoon, but then I'd look at myself and I literally looked pregnant and I was like,
That's when I loved you the most.
and because obviously I'm a little bit of a prick, a bit of a pretentious asshole, I like to look good. I don't want to have a
Who
big...
doesn't?
Exactly. I don't have a big bloated belly.
That's true.
And, you know, I tried doing like heaps of ginger shots and it actually started helping because ginger can help bloating in your gut and stuff like that. But I don't know. I noticed my sleep was a lot better, which was lovely. I think my sex drive was down, which was one thing I didn't like.
Sex drive was down?
Yeah, surprising because I've heard it can boost sex drive.
Yeah.
I've never heard it going down. I've always heard it going down.
Yeah, I don't know if it was just like a placebo or just in my head, or maybe I was just in a stage where I was just a bit mentally not there. Maybe I just didn't want to do it, you know?
You know what? I think the reason might have been like your like macros, like what you're kind of eating.
I didn't really put much thought. I just made sure everything I was eating was like a plant-based sort of food. I wasn't like trying
I feel like that's the big problem that people have is like they just think, people think that vegan is just healthy, just full stop. Like if you eat vegan, but it's not true at all. Like, you still have to like be conscious of like what you're eating as well.
I was eating some bad food when I went for last time. I did it for about 2 months.
There's some dirty food that is vegan.
Yeah, I think even for when I went vegan, the first vegan thing that I ate, because I had obviously a family that had no idea about a vegan diet. So there was no help from them. So I would literally make myself like a salad bowl. There would be no protein in it. There'd be like lettuce, tomato, onion. And I was like, fuck yeah, like this is not this is not going well. But as obviously as the years have gone by, there's been so many more plant-based products in the supermarket.
Well, even vegan desserts, I loved them.
So many good
so
obviously
good.
they're not healthy, but I mean, like they were fucking crazy.
But for an alternative,
exactly,
for it to not be obviously full of dairy.
Well, that's the problem. A lot of people think when you go to do a vegan diet, they're like, oh,
it's not going to be tasty.
Yeah, it's like I'm never going to be able to enjoy a meal again and all these things. But no, you can go to like dope restaurants. Even when I was in like LA, we went to a few vegan places when we were
vegan food.
Yeah,
So
and
good.
there's nice food out there. And even in Bali, there's crazy nice plant-based
trendy
cafes.
to go to a vegan cafe.
It is now, exactly.
Yeah.
And I find like I like a lot of the foods. I feel like I could do it. But it's like when there's birthdays or big parties or Christmas, it's like...
The temptation's there and you're like, I'll just eat whatever's
exactly,
given to me.
especially when a heavy percentage of my friends and people I hang around, they all eat meat. They all eat whatever they want, you know? And I'm not big on dairy. I never have been. I don't eat a lot of dairy. I still eat meat now, but...
It's definitely becoming a lot less for people because a lot of people are lactose intolerant.
Well, I think dairy's just not... I think you can get those like vitamins and the nutrients from some things from dairy. You can get it from other things without it having to have...
Well, that whole marketing campaign behind dairy of the you need it for strong bones, it gives you calcium. That's like none of that is scientifically proven.
Broccoli has lots of calcium.
Exactly.
Yeah. I actually heard that it does the opposite. I don't know if it's true, but like the dairy actually leaches calcium from your bones.
Wow.
It like densens
Back
up
me
your
up.
bones. So no, it definitely does.
Getting ganged up on. No, but that's the thing. It's like, don't hate me either of you. But so I've tried fully going carnivore diet as well, just because I like to trial things to see how I feel. It's and it's a bit naive or whatever, but it's like I tried it out and I did it for a few weeks, and honestly, I've never, my brain space had never felt so clear.
Really?
I didn't eat dairy much. It was just like literally just steak and eggs pretty much. It's pretty boring.
I've definitely heard of this. Obviously, I haven't tried.
I think everyone's different because I know people who tried it and said that they went depressed. They hated it. They couldn't sleep. Their stomach was like, they were just really badly, like they could have clogged up. They couldn't use a bathroom. They couldn't do things. Whereas I think because I've got such million-mile-an-hour ADHD, a high-carb diet's actually really bad for someone like myself because my dopamine receptors are always fucking depleted or super high, you know? And doing that, not having them carbs, like doing sugar spikes and all those things in my body, I felt really balanced with my energy and my mental state. My anxiety was gone. Wow. I felt good. Yeah. My physical energy to like train wasn't quite as strong as if I was eating a lot of carbs, which is probably expected. But yeah, I don't know. I think for me, the best thing that I do is just a balanced diet. Just try to eat a bit of everything. I'm not against any type of diet. I like to try new things.
Yeah.
I'm really curious. What do you think about that? Because obviously you were saying that you went vegan for the animal aspect of it.
Right. Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Mine isn't. It's interesting because everyone's like, oh, like they'll always ask like, why did you go vegan, or like, what's your motives behind going vegan?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, like let's put it like this: if I had a choice to eat going back to a normal diet or just eating Skittles, I would choose eating Skittles purely based on just what maybe I've seen to this point, and like, I guess like doing your own research, and like, I don't think about if the food was disgusting, I'd still eat a vegan diet. I'd still be like, oh, fuck it, whatever.
I've had moments like that where you see them really traumatic videos of things and it turns you off. But for me, it's like, I don't know what the word would be. I don't know if it's an immaturity thing, but it's like I think about it and I ponder the thought. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to eat that shit anymore for a while. Then after like a few weeks, I just go back to my old ways. Right. And I think it's because I'm so busy all the time. I struggle following routine in general everyday life, let alone just dieting.
I think it's also the disconnect too, because like you can just go to Coles and buy meat and it's just like prepackaged
easy,
and
right?
stuff.
It's easier accessible, I find.
It's like a product already there. But like, I think if you actually went out and had to kill it and stuff. So I used to spearfish and I actually killed animals and like ate them and cooked them and everything. I know I'm terrible, but like it makes you more connected to it because you're actually like conscious of what you're actually doing.
Right. So if it's like, oh, okay, you want to keep eating meat, like show me like you can go out and kill an animal and gut it and take all the feathers off the chicken and like slit its throat.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, okay. And then people are like, no.
No, they couldn't do it.
So it's, it is, I guess, the ignorance factor of someone else is doing it for you.
Yep.
And it looks perfectly packaged in the supermarket. So you have that complete disconnect to the actual
People just have this
animal.
idea, oh, it's dead already. Why? Well, who cares if I eat it? It's like, well, how about you go and do it?
You don't think about, you don't sit down and eat it and you don't go, oh, well, the process it's gone through to get to your plate.
Yeah, even the names of it, like you think about it, you got like pork or bacon, but it's from a pig.
Lamb.
So it's like a different name, so it's kind of like a disconnect through that as well.
Yeah, but there's also a lot of bad processed meats and stuff as well. Some of it's horrible, but like I think like going back in time, it's such when it was different times, like cavemen times, or even back a couple of 100 years ago. I think I don't think it was as bad personally if in these times if someone's hunting when you pretty much had no chance, you had to hunt, eat your food for survival. Back in these times, I think before like guns or weapons, where it was like an unfair advantage if someone was out hunting, you know, like 300-400 years ago, fighting an animal that's probably got a good chance of killing them. If they're going to do that and hunt their own food and do it all, it's a bit different, in my opinion, to how they're just slaughtering animals now.
I would 100% agree with that reference. And obviously we're not living in that kind of.
Exactly.
So I guess they're with with Indians and cowboys and way back when there's cavemen and stuff like that, they obviously eat to what they need, which there's just like overconsumption. These
sort of thoughts wouldn't have gone through their brains back then. Their thought was just like survive, just like hunt, eat, sleep.
But it's also like the ecosystem isn't getting ruined based off the amount of animals that they're killing. So if they're killing one animal for a week, that feeds their whole family.
Yeah, exactly.
That's very different to 20,000 cows.
The population's exploded and now there's just so many people that are eating meat on demand, so they're just producing more animals to kill them.
So it's a huge number.
And it sounds so hypocritical of me because like I do think it's wrong how animals are just being bred and born just to die for people's food, which sounds fucked because I do eat it all, you know, but it's like you said, if you give like some person a knife to, hey, go and kill this animal, gut it.
No, not many people would do it.
99% of people wouldn't be able to do that unless they come from like a country hunting town where it's probably normal to them. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. One thing I did want to talk about was a bit of a controversial thing you did when you pinched a few piglets, or was it one piglet, or is it like? Oh
no, we took a few, obviously.
I read a bit about the article, but I didn't want to read too much. I wanted to like hear it from you and like and react to it a bit, you know, because that's pretty wild. It's
right.
So how did this go down? What happened?
So basically before that, we had done it a lot. So this wasn't the first encounter. It's the first encounter that we got caught. So my kind of goal was I wanted to put it on social media, not for the praise and the
not for clout or for views. You wanted just to raise awareness, just to show sort of thing?
I didn't realize how much it would blow up and how much the media would take it, because I was thinking, oh, like if my Instagram followers see it, it'll be really impactful, because how are they supposed to see what I'm seeing if I don't show it on my social media? But basically, I remember I was hanging around a group of people and I guess I was very influenced. It was a very different time in my life where I kind of...
A couple of years ago now, yeah?
Yeah. It's a lot of years have gone by. Probably three
yeah,
or
okay.
4.
Yeah, there you go.
So we would fully scope out farms. We'd go on a specific map that we knew that had directions on how to get in, what was around. So it wasn't just like a Google map thing. It was people that actually have... I don't know if you've heard of Dominion or anything like that, but it's on YouTube. But it's just like basically an undercover camera that goes through all the farms. So we had a lot of help from outside people.
Full on, it's like an FBI team.
Bro, this sounds like I don't know, like
it's like a Mission Impossible. It's a heist. It's a heist. No, I like that. At least you put the work in. You kind of have to,
and
I guess.
I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, obviously, dude, there's so much adrenaline that you don't really have the opportunity to be scared because you're already in there. So you're like, let's just fucking do it. But basically, we just normally go in at 2 a.m. in the morning, when everyone's asleep, and obviously you can't go during the day because people would be like, what the fuck are you doing in my farm?
Yeah, of course. Were you worried about getting caught in the moment by someone that lived there and any sort of bad things happening?
It was in the back of my mind, but I think there was so much adrenaline to just, I was focused.
So we're back. We're back. All right. We had a bit of a technical malfunction there, guys. Usually Alex is doing the podcast producing, but today Bailey fucking ruined it.
Bailey!
No. It's no one's fault. The camera froze. These cameras suck.
No,
Black
it's
Magic.
no one's but Bailey's.
Fuck you, Black Magic.
Yeah, fuck you, Black Magics. No, just a camera brand. That's it. But anyways, getting back to where we were talking about you raided, kind of stole some animals to free them.
Yes.
So you put in the plans, you did like a full-on blueprint scale, undercover cameras.
Mind you, it wasn't the best plan. Like, it was pretty...
What was the plan?
Like, you can look at a map, but going in and seeing that there's like a fuck ton of electric fences, and you're literally skimming on, like, there's like that much between. So we're rolling on, like, I mean, to me that was pretty...
Did you have any idea, this is a weird question, but did you have any idea if it was the electric fences where it kind of pulses around? Like, because there's the ones that they just travel around it like a... You could grab it, and sometimes it might not get you if you go fast enough.
It felt like it was constantly circuited.
Yeah, there's ones that are always on.
Because that's like stops all the animals and the dingoes getting into the pigs and stuff like that. Because it's open. So there's like, if a dingo wanted to jump over or a wild dog, they'd be able to annihilate all of those pigs.
Yeah, of course.
There's like so many electric
They're
fences.
pretty strong. We used to grab them when we were younger. My friend had a farm and we used to grab on the fences and they didn't feel good.
No, it fucking hurts.
I pissed on one.
What happened?
It zapped me. It wasn't very fun. Yeah, it wasn't very fun. I was very young.
Oh my God.
Maybe it stunted my growth. Maybe that's why I have a small penis.
I was literally about to say that.
Maybe that's why it's small. Anyway, whatever. Back to the topic. Got a bit distracted. So what, like, you got away with it a few times and then eventually you were busted.
Yeah, I think I wasn't thinking like an ultimate mastermind robber.
Yep.
I didn't delete any images from my phone.
Oh, no.
So when the police came, I'd had my phone in my pocket. But anyway, back to when we got in there. So we basically, it took us like about half an hour to get in. So we were jumping fences, going through the farm, trying to figure out, we'd gotten into the farm. So there was probably, honestly, there was so many animals and there was so much fucking screaming.
Yeah, okay.
Because pigs are very vocal.
Yeah.
So they're not like chickens.
Aren't they smarter than dogs?
Very smart.
Yeah, they feel things a lot, don't
smart.
they?
And they have so much emotion to everything.
I always wanted a pig, but I just never really lived anywhere to have a pig.
I feel like everyone loves the little.
I like the big ones.
You like the big ones?
I want a big one in my bed. I want to sleep with it.
Like, what a love.
I want to just cuddle that fucking thing. Because they're actually very clean animals.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Right?
Yeah.
When they're not in a mud pit.
I mean, they love mud, so
But they're naturally toilet trained, I heard. Like, they won't use the bathroom near where
They're
they
like
sleep
outside.
or eat.
Yeah.
I mean, like, they might do it in a place, but they won't do it where they sleep or eat. They might do it in the middle of your house, but like they kind of, apparently they naturally know.
Maybe we should have pigs instead of
children. They keep in a tidy space.
Because I did my research because I almost wanted one.
You almost wanted one?
Well, I did want one, but I almost got one, but I ended up settling for a dog.
Yeah, then they obviously need a lot of... I mean, I see pigs that live inside on fucking the TikTok videos that come up to me. I'm like, wait, I can just have an indoor pig. This is great.
Yeah.
Just dress it up.
Do you have any pets?
I have a dog, but it's my mum's dog.
Okay.
So I'm in an apartment, so it's a bit tricky.
You're almost like a co-mum.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's pretty cute.
I'm a co-parent, yeah.
Yeah, my dog's got about 7 parents at the moment.
Like, it's being distributed to everyone.
Yeah, well, he's just like a communal dog at this point.
I like that.
He knows like 4 or 5 people as his main parents.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest of the people are just kind of guests. And he's pretty chill, riddled with anxiety. But other than that, he's very chill.
What dog isn't? I swear to God.
He's blue staffy. I don't know if it's my fault because I used to come home with shopping bags. And I think the sound of shopping bags, he didn't like it. I used to rustle them when I'd walk in.
Oh.
And like, I think because me growing up, my pop used to like wind me up a lot with just little stupid things. So now I do it to people. And not like in an abusive way, but I would like do it to my dog and I'd be like, a bit with the bags. And then he'd freak out. So I think he just doesn't like shopping bags.
Right.
But he's a spoiled dog. He sleeps inside. He gets treats daily, walked very regularly.
Dogs are very lucky.
Yeah, most dogs are very lucky. Some people shouldn't buy dogs.
Of course, yeah.
But yeah, a lot of dogs are very lucky. And that's what I wanted to say, actually. Sorry, we got very distracted. This happens with my brain. So when you got caught doing it, what type of you didn't get a criminal record, I read?
No.
That's good.
No. So I was like, I don't know. I when I first got done with it, I was like, oh, just because I had, someone from I had an animal lawyer represent me. There's such thing as that.
Yep.
So it's not a very common, obviously, lawyer to go and seek.
Animal lawyer.
like, for anything, like, I guess, animal welfare and RSPCA and that kind of stuff. And she was just like, oh, like, it was like, when I first spoke to someone, they just, when they put you through to just a generic lawyer.
Yep.
And they're like, you could potentially do jail time. And, like, because.
That's just a threat. There's no way they put you in jail for that.
But I think because I'd never been in a situation like that.
You would have believed it.
I believed it.
For sure.
I think I just panicked and I, was like, been threatening to go take down to the watch house. And I was like, I was thinking, surely you're joking.
Did you get locked up there or no?
I didn't.
Oh, lucky.
But now I'm like, maybe I should have.
Yeah, maybe.
It would have been a good story.
I've had my fair share of nights in a watch house.
I think it was more just the threatening. And at that point, but if it was to happen again, it would be a totally different story because I'd just be like, fuck off.
Would you do it again or probably not? Or maybe?
Yeah, I would do it again.
You'd do it again?
Yeah.
I can respect that.
Yeah.
I like when people are passionate about things. Even if it's not things that I'm personally am into,
right.
I still respect the principle behind it.
And
like,
it's people's passions. It's like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you have to respect
and it's a
it.
cool passion. Like
Yeah.
you're doing cool things, like, I don't know. I don't know if I could go and steal animals. I feel like I'd get a lot of hate if I did that. But I mean, that's just because I'm not like a...
It's interesting because I wasn't expecting anything to come from it. And then when it obviously like a lot of news people took like interest in it, I was like, what the fuck? And then obviously you get like occasional people that are like make you feel bad about stealing the pig. Oh, you stole it from its mother. It's it's gonna die. Blah blah blah. But these pigs specifically were doing really well because I had regular chats with. So it was like all pre-organized to go to a sanctuary.
Okay.
So these pigs were fine. They were fat as fuck. They were literally living their best
Over,
life.
yeah, okay, there you
They
go.
were being like they were fat.
They're being
like,
treated well.
When they're little, like they're just like they're tiny. As soon as they get fed like vegetables
thing,
and
yeah,
like
and they
whatever they want, they blow out.
How long do they stay small for?
Like the one that I rescued was a week old.
Oh, whoa.
And it was like maybe
Tiny.
like that big. But I think when I saw it maybe 2 months later, like it was thick.
And how do you like just let it go to a sanctuary or to someone? I get very attached to shit.
Oh, I was crying.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Because the lady that I'd coerced with to try and give the home to, because it's obviously hard doing that under wraps because everything has to be either spoke about in person, which I now realize.
Yeah.
Because everything's tracked. But she was like, yeah, like I didn't know her, so it was organized through someone else. And when I gave it over, I was like, fuck, do I trust you with this pig? Like this pig is my son. Like. Because I had another person's pig, so I was looking after them for a day, but I was like, oh, surely I looked after them for a week.
Yep.
And it was just like, it was weird because like rescuing from the actual, so we had to pick one each. So there wasn't like, we weren't just stacking them in.
You weren't just stuffing them in the pockets just to run out of there?
Oh, I fucking wish I could. But it was too much noise because they're underneath and when they're in like, when you put them into a dark area, they just shut up. So that was like
it's becoming more of a thing. I see a lot of videos of people like vegans or even like in all different things going into farms or like 100%. Warehouse things and just getting animals and out of there. Like
should we do it?
Even rest. I'll be down to try one. Would you take me for one?
Yeah.
We're just joking. Hypothetically speaking, we wouldn't do this, but I would probably come along if you would happily take me. We could do it. I'll take all the blame because you've already been charged. Well, not charged, but you've been in trouble once. I can probably get a smack on the wrist for the first time.
They probably wouldn't even believe you. They'd be like, oh, yeah, you didn't do it.
Or they wouldn't even know.
This is conspiracy to
Yeah. Well, let's just not get caught.
They're never going to know. So.
Exactly.
We've got
no
the
one's
experienced
if we
no one's going to know.
If we just get a helicopter to take us somewhere really far away, then no one's going to know where we even did it.
Yeah.
They won't be able to prove it.
We could flee the country.
I actually have my skydiving license. So
I'm happy to move countries.
You can strap to my back. I'll skydive us in. We'll just hit the ground running.
Something really subtle.
Very subtle. A big fluoro-luminous lit up parachute.
I'll be the computer guy that shuts down the systems.
You can be the getaway vehicle and the computer guy. So when we land, we get the animals, we run to the van, and we're out of there.
Yeah.
Bam.
I like it.
Then we erase everything off our phones.
I'm down.
All right, well, there we have it. Maybe I will do this. I actually would. I would love to. The adrenaline would be nice.
The adrenaline, it was weird. I started getting very addicted to it.
Yeah.
Every weekend I'd be like, because I had a boyfriend at the time and I would lie because he was very concerned.
Yep.
As you
of course.
would be. So I was like, yeah, I just got to go to my friend's house at 7 o'clock. And he was just like, oh, okay. Thinking, and then obviously he caught on to it. He's like, you can't just go, you can't go. Like, you're gonna die. Because he's like, so many people, like, obviously, as most of the farm owners, they have guns. And
they're pretty wild.
They shoot, they're fucking wild.
They are wild.
Like, I was like, fuck, if I got shot on property, like, nothing can happen.
I can understand his point of view as to why he'd be worried.
Right.
But I mean,
I could be a dog. I could be a wild dog.
Exactly.
So it's, you know.
But at the end of the day, you're a pretty passionate, like, boss sort of woman. You're going to do what you want to do either way.
Right.
And I can support that. Mm-hmm. I like that. So it's like, I understand his point of view. It's very worrying. But at the same time, you've got to let a girl live, you know? Go do what you got to do.
Exactly. And it's like, what is it really, you know, loss of profit? And the thing that most people don't know is like in these like in the pig slaughterhouses, they have obviously like they'll have one mum to maybe 6 to 10 piglets in each farrier crate. So they're in a tiny, like maybe 1 meter by, honestly, I don't know the dimensions, but they can't actually turn around.
Yep.
So they stand up, but for the most time they can't stand up because they can't fit because their udders expand to the side. So they're like, basically like their fat is like moving to other crates.
I've seen videos in places like Indonesia and Thailand where even when I was there riding a motorbike one day, I was really drunk on the back of a scooter riding it. And there was a truck in front of me and there was just so many dogs crammed into little cages. Oh. And I'm not saying some animals are more important than others. I think it's just because growing up, I always knew in my brain like dogs are a normal pet. So it's like for some reason I cared a lot about dogs. Right. And you see these trucks and there's like fucking 20 dogs stuffed into a cage. They can barely move. And I was just looking at it, I was like,
for me?
It's hot.
For me?
I don't know what it was for. I don't know why they were all in there. It was just,
I wouldn't be surprised because why would they be all, or they're just being euthanized.
It was in Thailand and
very high chance that's for me.
Probably, yeah. And I thought like, that's wild. I looked at that and I was a little bit drunk, so I got up in my feels a bit, you know, and I pondered that thought for a while.
Yeah, because you know, like that's everyone's like it's not common to own a pig.
No.
So it's not, we don't have that same association with a pig.
Well, as a kid growing up, you know, you associate dogs and cats, maybe some fish or something, you know,
well,
like.
I mean, even I'm like sympathetic for all animals, but like if you know, I don't go, oh, like the dog's more important than the pig.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, sometimes I'm like, oh, like, cause I never used to be a type of like chicken because I was like, chickens are just chicken. You know, like I didn't.
It's all different circumstances.
It's not that I thought animals were cuter than another, but like all just like almost just interacting with them on like a more intense level and seeing them like more just like how they get better from situations, like when we'd rescue the because we did chickens as well.
Yep.
So the chickens ones that was fucked because it was just like you couldn't breathe in these facilities. There's so much ammonia pumping around the air because it's like you literally like I couldn't speak the next day from breathing it in.
Jeez. It makes you wonder as well, like how toxic of environments a lot of them are bred in and fed and kept until they've turned into food. 100%. It's like people are eating it and it's like, I mainly, I know it doesn't make much of a difference to the broad picture, but I try to eat things like grass fed or even organic, you know, because I think at least it's not as fucking polluted. But like you said, in these things, there's just all this toxic air and they're not getting fed good quality things. And
no, they're getting
a toxic, stressful life and environment for these animals.
They're constantly stressed.
They would be freaking out.
And people are like, oh, but like, you know, not all farms are the same. And I was like, yeah, like you're right. Maybe some are outside and the chickens get outside air, but it's very like, they only do that to just give people that peace of mind that it's there at a good home.
Well, it never used to be a big thing until the last kind of 5 years. I've noticed that, you know, so many things are just pumped with hormones, pumped with steroid things just to blow them up, make them big quick. And people are eating this shit. It could be too good for you.
Well, it's interesting because I heard the other day that the pharmaceutical industry, 80% of antibiotics is fed to animals that are bred for us eating.
Really?
So 20% is for us.
Oh my God.
So it's huge. So it's literally so that they're in a good, I guess.
So big pharma's giving 80% of their drugs pretty much to animals.
Yes.
That's if you think about it as well, like
pharmaceutical company, animal agriculture, they all support. There's all that linked, you know, support between all of the owners.
I've always hated big pharma, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
I don't like it because when I had a lot of mental illness problems, really bad depression, anxiety, these things that I speak about quite a lot. First thing a doctor did, take these medications, take these pills, and you know.
Which is temporary, right?
I rejected them for a bit. Someone gave me like an antipsychotic when I was pretty young and I didn't like it. So I stopped. Went back again a few years later and I ended up trying a medication for a couple of years there. And I thought to myself after a while, I'm like, it did help when I was on it.
Right.
But then like, it made me start thinking, and when I stopped, I was freaking. Like, I feel like I really needed it. And I was like fucking worried. Like, I'm not going to be able to live without these pills ever again. Right. Then you think about it once you come through it and you're like, no wonder the doctors and big pharma and all these people do it, because if they get like 100 million people paying $10-20 a month for their pills, it's like a Netflix subscription pretty much. They're just boom, boom, boom. It's a trillion-dollar industry probably.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's crazy.
One of the, like, probably if not the biggest with animal agriculture.
I wonder they're just always. Well, that's the thing. It's like there's so many natural pain relievers, natural antibiotics. Right. I know back in the day they used things like manuka honey and turmeric and garlic, all these things.
They didn't have access, so it's like, oh, how did they live till 90, 100?
Exactly.
Like, you know, Indian elders and stuff like that. Like, they're old.
How are people so strong and healthy and fit 200 years ago?
They're hunting their own food. They're having to sprint after an animal to try and kill it, and
they could get killed in the process themselves.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. I think like it's a little different in a sense. It's not good. Any killing or any cruelty stuff's not good at all. No, but I think like I said earlier, it's like if someone jumps into the water with a spear gun or a spearfish and you're looking at a great white or a shark's trying to kill you, I'm just saying like you're in their territory. If you get eaten up doing that, serves you right.
Right.
I see that shit, you know, like.
Or anytime you go into the ocean, like especially where we live, like there's 9 times out of 10, there's probably going to be a shark that's cruising by.
I just go ankle depth in the water now. I'm petrified.
Yeah, I think about that more too.
If I'm drunk, I'll swim anywhere, in the middle of the ocean, anywhere. No, I do not care. But if I'm sober, like near the ocean, my toes will go in and I'll just use that water just to splash on myself and roll around.
Well, if it's not good clarity, you can't fucking see anything.
I'm very, very scared of
I mean, not that they'll really do anything, to be honest, because they're so fast. Like, they just come at you.
At least you'd see them coming.
But the thing is,
would that be worse, though? Because you're actually seeing your death come at you?
I think you could probably be, like, a little bit more prepared. See, where, like, I don't know if you follow the girl that does all the shark stuff, Shark Girl Madison. Like,
the girl that swims with them?
The girl that swims with them.
I've seen that.
It's fucking gnarly.
She's
like,
crazy.
she fully, like, knows how to detour them. And, like, if you're fully making direct eye contact. Look, I wouldn't recommend trying that on a shark. And
I've heard if you look at them in the water,
it's intimidating, right? And you're showing that you're the alpha.
If you're swimming away, kicking up a stir, it shows you're either you're going to scare them.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like if you don't freak the shark out, 100%. they'll either act in defense trying to eat you up, or they'll see you as like an easy target.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you got to look at them and just be like, "Hey, Mr. Shark, don't fuck me up."
If you're swimming towards it, like the chances, like, look, I don't want to test it out. You won't see a video of me testing this out, but like I've seen, obviously, like she does obviously like full-time work with sharks and stuff.
Yeah,
so.
and she would know the risk though. Like she would know that that's a risky game to be in.
Like,
but the thing is, I feel like if something was to go bad from that, I feel like she probably wouldn't care because she's so passionate about it.
Yeah, well, I was like, fuck, if I go down by a shark, whatever.
Doing something you love, it's
exactly. If an animal decides to kill me in the water, I'll like, fuck, all right.
Yeah,
I'm happy to go that way.
Well, where we grew up, there was very sharky water.
Oh, dude, there was
we would swim every day.
Like Newcastle.
So it's about an hour north of Newcastle. It's a place called like Nelson Bay, Anna Bay, the big sand dunes, the beaches.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we grew up there and we'd swim every day after school in like the main beach from Newcastle down to Anna Bay where I grew up. It's about a 30-something kilometre long stretch of sand dunes. That water was pretty great white, like a lot of sightings.
That was literally the nursery ground for the whole East Coast.
Yeah, and you know, even like the little rock pool areas where we'd go spearfishing or diving or any of these things when we were younger. I've seen a few grey nurses and a few sharks and I never cared when I was younger. Yeah. And as I got older,
you get scared.
I'm just
scared,
like,
right?
I'm like, why am I scared now? And I wasn't then, but
I like to pretend that I'm like, stingrays scare me a little bit because I regularly go like to the Great Barrier Reef and I love swimming with animals, but I'm not gonna lie, I like, you know, when they're swimming underneath you, you're like,
oh yeah, I have a PTSD experience with a monstrous, is it a manta ray maybe, the really big ones?
Yeah.
So I jumped in, there was a bit of like whitewash around this like reef area I was swimming in, I just swam up on it just to catch my breath and have a rest for 5. I've jumped back in where there was a bit of waves and you couldn't really see anything because of the whitewash. I've come out of the whitewash with my goggles on and boom, this fucking thing was just going straight for me. And I've turned around and I ran on water to get back on the reef.
Bro, I had an even worse one. I was spearfishing one time and it was like probably a meter visibility. So you couldn't see anything. Right. And I had like 100 eagle rays, which are the ones that jump out of the water and stuff. Yeah. I think it's one that killed Steve Irwin.
Oh, perfect. That would,
yeah,
maybe.
Bro, they'll come all over me.
They're quick in the water.
Yeah, they're like swimming and like grazing against my body and stuff.
And no one stabbed you?
No.
See, it's like a very small percentage chance that something's going to go wrong.
Yeah, but I'm a nice person. So.
Exactly. They would have known.
They're not going to kill you.
Yeah.
I used to this is just I don't want anyone to try what I do. This is just what I do.
Same.
If I go swimming in deep ocean water, this is just a trip or a tip. Sorry, not trip. A trick or a tip. This is for anyone out there that is scared of like animals in the water. What you can do if you are an adult, shave your pubes and disguise yourself as a child and animals will not attack a child.
Oh my God.
If you look like you haven't hit puberty yet, they are not going to attack you.
Makes sense.
I read this.
Makes sense.
It's no fear.
Yeah, and that. Just look at them and do this.
Fear, right?
Underwater. Do that to a shark and they're not going to come at you.
100%.
That I can guarantee. Quote me on it. With there was one question I forgot to ask a little while ago. With when you did get busted for like taking animals and stuff, what was the main punishment? There was no charge. Would you get a fine?
I had community service and a fine, so I obviously like pushed not towards community service because I was like, fuck.
What did they make you do for community service?
I worked at the Salvos for a year, and look, it's not. It doesn't. Yeah, no, it's
a year.
Yeah, because I had
You do like half an hour a week.
Obviously, great work, great work ethic.
Yeah.
Should have gone to an animal shelter or something.
Oh fuck, they wouldn't want to do
No,
that.
they would. That's like
that's
a
a reward.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I'm surprised that they didn't put you on like the freeway for like the rubbish pickup or like a cemetery to do like
Just dress
cleaning.
me up
and
in
A
an orange
slaughterhouse.
suit.
She has to actually kill the
oh,
animals.
that would be
Jesus.
shocking. That would be bad.
I would definitely
punishment.
contest that.
I'd rather 3 months in jail.
Yeah. What was your defense, by the way?
My defense when I pleaded not guilty.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And they just like couldn't prove it.
I had like a few moments where I was like, I'm gonna plead guilty. Like, sorry. Oh my god, I said that the wrong way. I pleaded guilty.
Yeah.
Because they were like, oh, like they were going, oh, like you'll probably do like maybe like 3 months in jail. I was like, what?
Whoa.
That's crazy.
Because there's obviously like evidence at the farm,
Yeah.
so that they say, but their story kept changing. Oh, someone dobbed you in. It was on your social media, but I'm like, oh, like what? Like,
Yeah.
and maybe it was a combination of everything, but yeah, I wanted to plead not guilty, just to be like,
Just to like really show that you are happy about what you did.
because then it's like, oh, but like, what about the people at the farms? Like, are they getting charged for animal cruelty?
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah.
a double-ended sword. It's like,
Did you have any prior any? You don't have to answer it, but any prior like any run-ins with law or anything before all this stuff happened?
car offenses.
So there's no way they're putting you in
Because I was
jail for that.
speeding
That's like
and-
just a real typical intimidation game by magistrates or police or
100%.
to be like, oh, we'll put you in, like what? You're gonna go to jail because you grabbed an animal and left. Like,
Yeah. Well, the girl that I did the rescue with, she's been charged. I don't know if that's like, quote me if I'm wrong, but probably maybe 50 times.
oh
for
my
animal-
god,
Jeez.
So she's like,
and she's still not in jail.
she's not in jail, but she had a like.
I encourage this.
I
We don't. We do encourage this. Everyone should do this.
I feel like you're gonna become a vegan after
Grab
this.
your
honestly.
mum.
I honestly am not against it. I just can't keep up with it.
Yeah.
I'm
One
so
of
bad with it,
us.
man. Actually, one question I do want to ask.
yeah.
You're single right now?
Yes.
If you were to meet somebody, is it a big thing for your partner? Should he have to be a vegan, or are you open to dating people that aren't vegan?
I'm definitely open to dating people that aren't vegan, purely because like me being present around them and me obviously knowing a lot more about veganism, I can obviously like
Educate them.
I can educate them.
Yep.
And cooking the food and knowing like how to eat, where most people are like, what the fuck do
Over
I
time,
eat?
you never know. They might transition over time, or they might even just take out less of the bad stuff they eat and include more.
I don't think it's a defining factor
No.
because I find like I have dated vegan people in the past and they're absolute assholes.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it's the same as both. There's meat eaters that are nice. There's meat eaters that are assholes. There's vegans that are
I
nice.
just
There's
don't have a
vegans that
good
aren't.
track record for.
I don't think many of us do here. But it is what it is. Not speaking badly about anybody.
No, we're not.
So your future partner doesn't have to be a vegan,
No.
as long as he's supportive.
I mean, I guess it's tricky with my kind of stance on it. It's not like I've like fluffy around being
Yep.
vegan. Like I obviously like, I mean, like you could obviously search that and it's like vegan activists and
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't find it intimidating. And I don't think a guy would probably be like, oh fuck, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
See, some guys might look at it and think it's cool. Some guys might be like, oh, I don't know if I could because I feel like I'd get judged for eating meat around her or these things. Whereas
Yeah.
I don't mind. I've definitely dated girls that are vegan. I've dated girls that eat whatever they
I
want.
don't think it changed. Like, I mean, like, obviously it's a little bit off-putting when I guess your boyfriend would be cooking up a fat steak for
Right in
dinner.
front of you, yeah,
I'd be
yeah.
like, maybe not. Like,
Yep.
because obviously I'm not around meat.
But then that's not like a bad thing. There's nothing wrong in that. Like
Right.
you're allowed to have or want to be around what you want to be around
Yeah,
and
of
see who you want to
course.
see. And it's
Of
the same as
course.
vice versa. Some guys might be like, oh, I don't want to have to worry about if I do cook a steak in front of her. I just want to be able to do this. And that's up to them. And I think that's the joy of just trial and error sometimes. You know, you might
Yeah.
find someone that's like really good for it. You might find a cool vegan who loves it, you know?
Yeah,
and it's just like, this is
exactly.
dope.
Yeah, I don't really have any attachment to them being vegan because I feel like even like vegan friends or keeping a group that's strictly vegan, like obviously I frolic with everyone.
Yep.
I'm like everyone's friend. So it's not, I don't obviously like, I like to educate and I do have conversations with friends and they're like, I know.
Yep.
Like they'll be like, I know you've already said this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, cool. But a lot of them have obviously included more plant-based stuff because they're like, they love the education side of it.
Yep.
And they're like, oh, I want to feel better and I want to like add more stuff into my diet that's vegan friendly. So
Yeah.
I think it's good because you can encourage people to not necessarily transition to a full-blown ethical vegan, but even if you're cutting down your consumption in meat and dairy,
Yep.
you're still cutting down the numbers.
Still doing a little bit, you know, just gradual improvements.
Right.
Similar principle, not on a food diet. He's a very religious man and he's asked me to go to church with him before.
Wait, for real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
cool.
not like a very religious person. I'm not against
Right.
it. I'm not like anti-religion. I'm just like, I've never really,
Right.
I think it's a similar thing. I'm just like, very just, what would you say the word is? Just like, not old school. I haven't really bothered to get into that stuff.
I think I'm similar. Like my friend's super religious and I really respect her like way. She has a really positive outlook on life. Like I never hear anything negative come from her mouth.
It's a bit like him.
And I'm like, it's nice to have
faith in God.
Faith in God. But it's like, it's not even, it's almost just like having faith in a higher power that everything's going to work out. And it's almost just trusting in that. Yeah,
it's like I do believe something's out there for sure. Like I think that there's something that exists greater than all of us that has got us to where we are, that made all of us. I don't think the Big Bang Theory, when you look into it's kind of interesting, but I don't know how the whole world started. I wish I did.
Right, me too.
I honestly, this is the same sort of situation with me as well. Like back in the day, I used to watch a girl called Freely, the banana girl. She's really big in Australia, and I heard about.
What does she weigh?
What would she weigh? Oh, probably
how
like
big?
50, 60 kilos?
That's not very big.
I know. It's crazy.
Unless she's like 3 foot tall.
She was huge.
She was 7 foot tall. Okay. I like just heard about it because she used to like make videos just attacking people, like just talking about like their diets and stuff like that. And I just kind of like pushed it away because I was really into like gym culture and stuff. And I was like, oh, I have to like eat meat and all this sort of stuff. So like, I think it's just like having an open mind to like different lifestyles and stuff. And even just like looking into it, because
it's really well said.
I honestly think like being vegan has been a pivotal point in my life to like help my health and stuff. Because I don't know what I'd be like if I didn't do it. So I think it's the same sort of thing like with like Christianity, like whatever else it is. Like I always like to have an open mind because you never know what could benefit you so much. And obviously people are talking about it because it is helpful. Like for you, you're not just like talking about veganism just because like it's a good thing to do.
Yeah, people jump on the bandwagons and that, you know, someone might jump on and be like, oh, I'm vegan now just because it's a cool thing to do. The next week, like, oh, I'm carnivore now because that's the cool thing right now. I think like what you said about the gym culture side of things, for a lot, probably more for men, not getting too sexist, but for like young guys growing up, they think you have to eat like steak and chicken and rice and stuff, otherwise you won't be big.
It's a manly thing.
Yeah, but like you look at that movie, Game Changers, the documentary. Did you watch that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I thought it was a pretty cool, like it's simplified to the people who probably would have a hard time understanding it. I watched it, and I'm not going to lie, I went vegan after it for 2 months. That's the first time I really tried.
You're like, oh, it gives you confidence. Oh, I can gain muscle.
Yeah.
I liked looking at what their bloods, you know, like when they went plant-based for a week or two, then they did new blood tests and their inflammation markers were right down. They had more energy, all these things. I was like, fuck it, I want to try this. What's the worst case? I don't like it. Cool, you know, I'll try it. But Game Changers was good because some of the strongest men in the world right now, whether it's boxing, fighters, MMA fighters, weightlifters, powerlifters, some of the strongest people in the world are vegan people right now.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm one of them.
I am also one of them.
You're both two of them. Yeah. Two of the strongest people in the world right now. But yeah, because I found like I said, when I did it, it was like I ate too much carbs when I went vegan.
Yeah, that's the issue. Like, honestly, that's the only problem people have is eating the wrong things.
Because I feel like I gained weight when I did it.
Because basically when you're eating vegan food, like if you're eating like a lot of fruit and veggies and stuff, your body's processing it at a very high rate, where meat, it takes a lot of time to digest through your body. So it's basically getting stuck through a lot of through your body.
It makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Like, well, fruit's really good because it's like a natural. It just helps clean your system.
Because I'm hungry all the fucking time.
Really?
Yeah, same.
All the time. Really? And I could just like graze, like just a cow, just constantly graze. Just put me in a field of food and I'll just graze.
That makes so much sense because like I was saying, when I tried my like carnivore thing, I'd have a steak for breakfast and I wouldn't be hungry until 6 p.m.
Yeah.
No.
Because your body hasn't digested it.
Yeah.
So
is that what it is?
Yeah, 100%. It takes so long.
So much longer. Sometimes steak can take up to like 20 hours to fully digest. And
I've heard even longer.
Even longer than that.
Yeah.
And it fully does get stuck.
I think red meat's the hardest one to digest.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, but I don't know. But yeah, it's crazy. I like learning these things. What would like a normal daily, like in the life of you, like let's just say a daily like diet, what would you wake up and have through your day? Just for anybody watching who might not know where to start, what would you eat for breakfast, lunch and dinner?
So typically I would probably wake up in my like ideal daily thing, like which I think starting with a green juice, it literally kicks your metabolism.
I did celery juice every morning for like 3 months.
It literally makes you go to the toilet straight away, so you feel like a lot lighter in the morning. So if you're like known to be bloated or getting bloated easily, like if you're easing into food, especially in the morning, which can make you really bloated for the whole day. So I'll do that, and then I'll have a massive bowl of fruit. If I'm hungry after that, I'll have just avocado on toast with some vegan feta. add.
Vegan feta.
I don't. Yeah.
Does it taste a bit similar?
I mean, it has the same consistency. Like, it's weird for me because I don't know what that tastes like anymore.
Yeah, true. It's been so long.
I'm like, yeah, it tastes the same.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have obviously like the processing part. You just like, it doesn't make your stomach funny or, you know, if you're lactose intolerant, like that's perfect. Like,
see, tofu freaks me out. Right. I'll be very honest. Tofu. What's the other one?
Tempeh.
Tempeh. I like that. I thought that was nice.
Yeah.
Tofu, like I was eating a lot of it when I tried to do it, but I don't know. I look at it and I can't look at that and just think that it's healthy.
You're like, how can this turn into a
It just looks
meal
like a
that I
block
would
of
enjoy?
gunk, and I'm just looking at it, and I'm like, it doesn't taste bad. The texture's fine, but I look at it and I'm just like, how can this be like
just a big old soybean just mashed into a?
Is it a myth? Because you're a man. Is it a myth that eating too much soy can make your testosterone low?
Yeah, it's like it's got estrogen in it, but it's a different type of estrogen.
So it doesn't convert in like your body and rate.
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
That's an interesting myth because I blamed estrogen problems when my sex drive went down when I tried to go vegan for a while.
Right.
Because I was eating a lot of like chickpeas, what do you call it? Edamame, which is
super high in protein.
Yeah, stuff like that. I was trying to get a lot of protein out of the foods that I was eating, and I struggled, but because I feel like I had to eat a lot more of the food to get
That's
the right.
The thing.
You do.
Yeah, people always say, "Oh my gosh, how do you eat so much?" Like I ate like 2-liter bowls of food.
Yeah.
You should see what he used to make because he lived with me for a year or two. He used to wake up. And it wasn't even a smoothie thing. What would you call it? It's like a bathtub.
Just the blender.
I know. I had this
fucking
massive like 3-liter jar, and I made a smoothie.
Like a 30-liter fucking, and he would put like a week's worth of food in there and blend it. And he would just sit there. It was like a fish bowl with a straw.
It's good.
Just sit there in the morning. We'd just play a game of chess. He'd just be sipping on his 30
and you're
meals.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but like that's good though. So like for things like dinner, would you eat much like tofu, tempeh, things like that, or would you just eat like salads and vegetables and shit?
I actually am not. I don't eat a lot of salad.
I don't like salad.
I'm also a very basic bitch when it comes to eating food.
Okay.
Like if it has like heaps of sauce or like heaps of flavor, I'm like, not heaps of flavor, but like too much. I'm like, because my stomach is prone to be a little bit like.
It's probably a bit sensitive.
It's sensitive.
Yep.
So I'm in the like work with a naturopath and stuff because I think I may be allergic
Naturopaths are good.
to a fucking vegetable.
Did you do any of those tolerance tests for foods?
I haven't yet.
You should. I did one and it was weird.
Yeah.
I honestly think that people just aren't conscious of that. I feel like a lot of people have the exact same experience as you.
It's very common.
I like sauces are really hard to break down because they're super processed.
Right.
So
I love vegan mayo.
Yeah.
Like it's the like
vegan mayo tastes good.
Yeah, I just like I don't know why I'm just having like I'm in my vegan mayo.
I have vegan mayo on potatoes.
I have it on everything. Like I put it on my cereal. No, I'm just kidding.
She puts the cereal in the
just
jar and just eats it with the cereal.
It's like granola.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I probably would.
Is a lot of cereal vegan? Things like Fruit Loops and stuff, are they vegan?
Yeah,
No?
pretty much. Oh, yeah, like pretty much all of it is. Yeah, I'd say so.
I heard Oreos can potentially be vegan.
I haven't had Fruit Loops since going vegan. I have. What do I eat?
Well, you probably find you eat naturally. You probably just eat a lot healthier being vegan.
I love Nutri-Grain and shit like that.
Nutri-Grain's
Yeah.
I fucking love Nutri-Grain.
I used to grow up watching the ads for that, like watching the Iron Man. Another.
In saying that, not a healthy option.
Not at all. That's exactly where I was going.
Nutri-Grain is actually one of the worst cereals, like worse than Cocoa Pops, worse than Fruit Loops, everything.
I can't say this for sure, but I believe it has more sugar than Fruit Loops.
It does.
And
they've like
you are
looked at
fed
it.
on television as a kid, even still to today. You watch the fittest men in the world doing their fucking 30,000 kilometer triathlons, and they're
all
with
they're
their
having is
Nutri-Grain,
Nutri-Grain.
and all they eat is a bowl of Nutri-Grain full of sugar.
The thing that pisses me off about it is it doesn't even taste like that good compared to like Cocoa Pops.
If I want to eat a fuckload of
preferred.
sugar, I'm going to eat like some crazy shit. I'm not
Yeah,
going to eat a bowl of
100%.
Nutri-Grain. But it is tasty. It is nice.
It is pretty
for a
good.
cereal. Nutri-Grain is pretty good. This isn't a sponsor, so
Sponsor
Just
us.
curious.
if you do want to.
Back on what we were talking about before, did you find that your taste buds changed when you went vegan? Like foods just like taste like more intense and stuff?
Yeah, I think a lot of stuff that I would usually eat because I was a massive egg person. I loved
Yeah,
eggs.
same.
And I still have like random moments where I'm like, I look at eggs and like, maybe that's fucked up.
I was
But
going
I'm
to
like-
say,
I'm
do you
like-
have any cravings too?
Mainly towards like eggs. If I ate meat or visioned myself eating meat, I'd probably throw up just because
Yeah.
I'm way past the point of, you would think an egg would make me throw up, but I look
Oh,
at it
yeah.
because I just had such an attachment to having eggs every morning.
Interesting.
That's me every single day without fail.
I would eat like 6 eggs a day,
Yeah,
and I
me
was like,
too.
I fucking love eggs. Like I would just come home from like work and just eat eggs for lunch.
Eggs are pretty fire, I'm not going to lie.
One
I
person
really like
told me like was a chicken puree and that just turned me off forever.
Right.
Yeah, no, I watched a.
It's like an undeveloped baby.
I watched a disturbing video that I didn't eat eggs for about 8 days after this video, which is pretty good for my track record, right? It was a video. Someone cracked an egg, and I don't know what the fuck they did.
Oh, it had something inside it, right?
No.
Oh.
They cracked an egg, and they still somehow they made it like you could watch the egg turn into a chicken. They kept the top of the egg off.
Oh, I've
in a
seen
TikTok.
that.
And they film it like with this angle. They made it so it still technically feels like it's inside an eggshell.
Right.
Yeah, I
And this
think
fucking thing just turned into like a blood vessel, and then it turned into a little baby. And I was like,
Because it's still like
Bro.
a growth. Like
Yeah.
it's a baby growing inside
I'm
the
like,
egg,
if
right?
I eat an egg, I'm like, it started freaking me out. I was at a stage, I was smoking a little bit of weed at the time, and I watched it, and I was a little bit high medicinally. I get it prescribed, so fuck off. And
Love.
and I was a little bit high watching it, and I was like, is it fucking like,
it's
chicken's
growing
gonna grow
inside
in
me.
I was like, I don't know if I want to eat these again. And I went 8 days, and I was like getting bored of acai bowls and porridge, so I was like, fuck, I'm gonna have to eat eggs. As you do. But oatmeal's a good vegan breakfast.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
eat a lot of oats. I'm very much like, I am very carby. Like if I have,
But you look great, so whatever you're doing's working fantastic.
but I mean, I also like, I don't binge eat or anything
Yep.
like that. Like I always like watch what I eat to a certain degree with, like doing Instagram,
Yep.
OnlyFans. Like obviously not.
Modeling. She means modeling, guys. She's a fucking model. All right?
not an
And she's a
Instagram
damn good
model.
one at that.
Oh, stop
With
it.
a good message. Here I am, kissing ass, what I do best.
Love you.
But you are one of our first female guests, so I do
Amazing.
appreciate you
Yeah.
coming. It's been really
Hey,
good. It's
amazing.
been dope to just sit down with someone who's very passionate about what you do, what you
Yeah.
believe in, different way of living compared to a lot of other people. I think it's really good, you know. It might open up eyes to a few people because
Yeah.
a lot of people that are vegan or activists or very big animal lovers on these things, I think you're very open-minded to talk about things, which is nice.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel judged talking about
Yeah,
the fact
no.
that I eat meat and these
100%.
things, which is really
No.
good because
'Cause
some
that- you
people,
can have a conversation.
yeah,
right?
it's nice. And it's like,
Yeah.
I like that you explain things
Yeah.
simplified to people like myself and
Yeah.
break it down because I like to learn more and I like to understand the things I'm putting in my body as well.
Mm.
I did want to ask, because you are one of the first female guests, and
Yes.
a lot of guys are probably watching. You can also find all her socials in the links of the description of this video, guys. But what would you look for in a man? We need to ask this
Ooh,
question.
Okay.
For any of the guys out there that might be dreaming, keep it as a dream, guys, because it might. Look, I can't speak for her, but it probably won't happen. But
It's not happening.
exactly. Let's just say if there was a man watching this and he was like, damn, she's beautiful. I would like to get to know her. What would you look for in an ideal man?
Goodness me. I just don't have a great track record, but I feel like in the last like year, I've done like a lot of healing based on like,
I feel a bit like that.
yeah, it's been a weird kind of roller coaster for me because I've obviously dated people that just, obviously aren't very nice to me at all. I don't have a great track record. And I'm like, why am I attracting so many assholes?
Yeah.
But and then I was like, you need to like do the work and actually have boundaries for what you actually need. Communicate. And I just, and like if something happens, I'd always be like, oh, like whatever. Like,
Yeah.
and it wouldn't really end well for me.
Do
But
you get easily turned off people sort of thing?
now I do.
Now you do.
Now I do. I never used to. I used
That
to be
happens
like,
though.
I used to be like, oh, well, that is what it is. And maybe that's normal in a relationship. But
I feel the
now
same.
I'm like obviously super picky. And I think there's nothing wrong with having a super high standard because
Oh,
you obviously
not at all.
attract good people. That
Well, and it also flushes out the time wasters, you know.
100%.
As we're getting a little older to that, not old at all, but I mean, like we're at that age now where it's like little flings or dating or one night
Right.
stands. All this shit's kind of like, it's just
Yeah.
whatever. I'm not even
Yeah.
personally that into it anymore, and I'm 28, and I've had a lot of fun, and I've had long relationships, but now I can like meet a girl, know pretty quickly that like this is just gonna be a little bit of fun, and then whatever, move
Right.
forward. Or I'm like, cool, I see potential in this person. This is the
Yeah.
longest I've been single for. It's been like 9 months now in probably my adult life.
yeah.
So it's been new for me, and like you said, the last year or so, I feel like I've been able to like grow, mature, learn a lot about
Yeah.
myself, and now I kind of know what I want, and I'm not rushing into anything.
Yeah.
It's like if
100%.
I do meet someone I vibe with,
But
you
there
know,
isn't any rush. That's the thing. Like
There's
you,
no
you
rush.
put a time cap. Oh, I need to have kids by.
No.
We're brought up to be like, well, for most part, like I'm gonna have kids when I'm by the time I'm 30. I'm
Yep.
gonna be married.
part of the reason I was single is because I didn't want kids.
Yeah.
Because I don't never want kids. I'm just like where I'm at. I'm too busy. I'm a bit selfish. I just want
Yeah.
to spend my time grinding because if I have a kid now, there goes so much of my free time and my working time.
Because they take up all your free time.
Exactly, which
Yeah.
isn't a bad thing once you're ready for it.
Oh, of
Yeah.
course.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Be a
it's-
parent. Go through that chapter of your life. It's a probably
Definitely.
beautiful thing to do. My mum says having kids is the best thing that she's ever done.
Yeah, of course.
Probably because I paid off her mortgage. Probably the only reason. If I didn't do that, she probably wouldn't be saying it.
She's a bit biased.
She's a bit biased. But I think it's better for people to be honest and open about not
Yeah.
wanting to have children right now. It's not immature. It's not anything. I'd rather be open and honest
Right.
instead of bringing a kid into the world that's going to be neglected and grow up
Right.
with daddy issues because I wasn't around.
Of course.
I want to achieve what I want to achieve, make
Yeah.
enough financial wealth that I can just have freedom for the rest of my life.
Well,
However,
it's interesting you say that because like obviously in the last 2 years, so wasn't going to touch on this, but I obviously I have always lacked like a little bit of self-confidence. And I think since moving into the modeling world, it's brought me more confidence.
It's an empowering feeling.
It's empowering. So when obviously OnlyFans dropped, I was like, oh, I'd probably never do that because it's not really my vibe. But since growing up, like I've always been comfortable with my body.
Yep.
So I haven't had any problem doing like artistic nude shoots or like, you know, when I turned 18, like I was doing like topless stuff. So like, and I mean like super arty stuff, but I didn't have a problem.
It's tasteful.
I didn't think, oh fuck, people are going to sexualize me. But where now I'm like, you just step into a totally different realm.
You become more carefree and you just become confident.
Yeah.
It's like when I did OnlyFans stuff, you know, and it's like when I got into doing it.
So you're not doing it anymore?
I took like a year off and for anyone watching, I did just start a new page because obviously my old page was linked with my ex-partner and it's still there.
Right.
And thankfully it was all pretty peaceful. We didn't have any dramas or anything and it's been pretty good, but you know, she's had a new boyfriend for a long time. Everything's been really, really healthy, I think, for the most part.
Good.
So, but yeah, I did get back into some OnlyFans recently.
Yeah,
just,
cool.
I just needed to get away from it because I did it purely with my partner.
Right.
It caused a lot of problems with my natural sex life.
Right.
And it also brought problems into the relationship, you know, if we ever did collaborations or even for fun, if we did, say, a threesome with somebody or something like that. There would become new insecurities, new problems, new things to worry about. And I just got really burnt out from doing OnlyFans. And I just needed to step away from it to get my shit together a bit. And it's been a good year, maybe 12 to 18 months since I've done it.
Right.
Now I'm like, I don't want to be the single, like, seedy sort of dude on there that just sleeps around with everyone.
Of course.
But I want to have fun with it, make my humorous stuff. If I meet someone to work with,
you
cool,
you can like chop and change what you're going to do, right, to suit what you're doing.
That's the thing I love about it.
Yeah, and it's a pretty open platform. And even for me, like when I obviously was doing OnlyFans when the whole court thing, I think I've done OnlyFans for 3 years. Yeah, maybe 3 years. But basically when I had my OnlyFans, like a lot of people I can directly reach through that. So for me, that's also another platform where like whether it's girls and guys subscribing, I can still reach a number.
And you know, these people are actually probably more caring about you than the average follower on Instagram because you're funneling people from your other socials who are willing to actually pay money. Right. Some maybe to see you naked, some maybe to actually get to know you or to talk to you or to listen to what you have to say, which is cool. Yeah. And you can use those platforms because you know they're going to listen. Yeah, they're spending money. They want to hear what you have to say. They want to support you. So
when I've also raised like thousands of dollars like through to sifting through to charities like animal charities. Beautiful. So I wouldn't have that ability if I was working 9 to 5.
Yeah, 100%.
Because it was a quick transition and because I've never been obviously earned that kind of money. And I think since I made the move from Townsville, which is a small town in
I know where Townsville is. My mum lived 2 hours south of there for a while.
So it was like very small town mentality. And I was like, what the fuck am I going to do here?
Yep.
Because my dad owned his own business and stuff. So I was like, I've always had like I've always been very independent. Yep. So I haven't had much I guess family funding towards what I'm doing.
I think that's boss as fuck.
And I think obviously I don't sit down with my parents and talk about in detail what kind of photos and videos I'm doing online because I don't think it's very necessary.
No, you don't have to.
It's, it is what it is and they know what I do. So, and they're not non-supportive of it. I'm allowed, it gives me the ability to help them.
Yep. 100%. My mum's very much the same.
And it's so nice to be able to give back to your parents.
Definitely.
And if that isn't a goal of yours, make it a goal.
I mean, I feel like the people that have something to say about it, if they've got problems with it, they're either they're just jealous or I think a lot of these people actually enjoy watching, not saying you do really intense stuff, but a lot of these people that hate on OnlyFans creators, they'll go and watch pornography. They'll go and watch 50 Shades of Grey. They'll go and watch all these sexually heavily related movies of nudity, follow rappers and Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, which are all cool artists, but they're just big on twerking and shoelace G-strings.
Once upon a time on Pornhub, I'm sure
exactly.
So it's just, it's a bit of a disconnect.
People will go and watch it, but then if someone they personally know of is making money from doing that, then they're like, oh, I don't like that. Right. How did you deal with, did you get much backlash or any negativity when you started doing it?
Look, I know people talk and I know stuff gets sent around and stuff gets leaked. Don't know why I'm plugging that here.
No, but I mean, we've got a guy. We know someone who can remove content like that. So
perfect.
Maybe we can.
If we didn't have this conversation.
We can help. That no one can find the leaks, and they'll have to sign up to look at your OnlyFans potentially.
But I think, I obviously sometimes I go in and out of being a bit self-conscious about being judged because I'm like, oh, like
that's natural. That's healthy.
Which is natural, right? So, but it still doesn't deter me from doing that because it's just like, it's not necessarily like, oh, where else would I make that kind of money? But like at the moment, it would be silly.
Ride the wave while it's there.
Exactly.
Like, and people are like, oh, what are you going to do when it dies out? You won't be able to get a job.
I'll figure it out. You know, you figure it out.
You might not need to figure it out. You might have made enough money from this to last a long time. You know, if people are smart with the money and you're not, you're a mature age person and a smart girl, you're probably not wasting your money. You're probably doing smart things. So it's like, I feel like if people look at it as like, this is just a stepping stone to my future. Like I can make a lot of money, more than I probably ever will make.
Right.
Invest it somewhere, put it somewhere, help your family, help the charities you believe in, do these things. Yeah. And hey, 3-4 years from now, if it's not even a thing, who cares? You made a shitload of money. You wouldn't have made it in 30 years at a normal job, same as me.
And there's no regrets on it. It's just like, did what I did. Like that's what I mean. When you do stuff, you can't have doubt. You just got to go full ball.
100% agree.
Because otherwise you just don't have the same outcome.
My life in a nutshell is like go hard or go home.
Exactly.
And I put a lot of thought. I procrastinated it a lot, maybe for a good month or two about doing OnlyFans because I never wanted to do it really wild to get on there and do much. I just wanted to do it for a bit of fun. And then the day that I made the decision, I'm like, I'm making OnlyFans today. I'm just going to go hard. It's all in or nothing. Because if you're half-assed and you worry a little bit and stuff, it's like you're not going to get the full potential out of it. You may as well make it worth it. Right. If you're going to go that mile hard as fuck. And that's what I did. Made it worth it. So I think
having probably like for me, like I didn't really have support during that time with partners and stuff. And I'd get a lot of judgment from that too. So I think obviously that's important for what I'm doing now to not have like having like the insecurity from the guy to be there because it just complicates it. Like,
I like that it gives people confidence.
Yeah, and it should like, you know, it's not like like for me specifically, like I don't really do anything with any other people. So it's not necessarily, that's not anything that anyone would need to overcome. Yep. So it's very much just like me. You
just do all your own kind of individual solo stuff. Do you do stuff with girls or anything like that?
I don't.
There you go. Nope. So you just do your own thing. You're an independent boss woman that don't need no man.
No man.
So, but that's cool. I like the freedom it's provided for people. Yeah. The confidence.
The opportunities it's brought, the travel.
You can travel the world and even if you don't make loads of money whilst traveling the world, you could have everything paid for.
Still have the experience.
100%.
Like you might not have that if you had, like not dissing on 9 to 5, but I personally wouldn't be able to do the things that I do.
More people are waking up to it than ever at the moment. 100%. The whole 9 to 5 lifestyle. You know, I was there. I was working 2 jobs not that long ago. Yeah. And, you know, worked in a pub 3-4 nights a week, worked with my dad laboring on a construction site, tiling. And, you know, I was working really hard, and every spare day or two that I had, me and him would just make videos in my hometown. Yeah. And, you know, it's just one of those things. I think I never would have made the kind of money that I've made now from doing that in 50 years. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, people can talk because I'm happy enough knowing that what I'm doing is going to set me up. I don't need to even know any of these people.
Background noise,
it's just white noise. I don't need to hear any of these people.
I get to tick off so many things that I
get to have fun. I get to just embrace how I look.
You have freedom.
Exactly. I did it with a girl that I was really into. We trusted each other. It's like, it's literally just a bit of fun. And why shouldn't you? If it's giving you more confidence, more independence, freedom.
Only matters about you.
Exactly. Like you're a good looking girl. If you can profit from doing that, then fuck it. Everyone wins. The people are paying to get something that they want. You're getting money for doing what you want to do.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a good world.
With a message, you know.
With a message.
Because it is very like, obviously people go, oh, like, you know, how do you like my body changed so much. Obviously through my age, but also going through a vegan diet. Like I was always very, very skinny, no muscle. And like it gave me confidence at the gym, gave me a heap like energy. And obviously like that obviously helps my image.
Definitely.
Because people look at that and go, oh, like, you know, what's your training regime? And I was like, well, it's not just the training regime because anyone can train.
Yep.
But then what you're putting in your body.
It kind of, it not forces, but it almost does force you to have to look after yourself a lot more. 100%. And that's what I noticed since making my new account recently. I'm like, I'm more motivated than I've ever been to be training hard, to eating good foods, getting better sleep, which is my hardest part. But I'm trying to make sure that I stay looking pretty good, feeling good. I want to have high energy. I want to have a high sex drive. I want to feel good and look good so I can make money from doing this shit. And, you know, doing the podcast has been fun. But things like that, it's just like get in there, provide a bit of entertainment for other people. They pay for it. You get paid. Exactly. Everybody wins.
Everyone's happy.
He's got an OnlyFans.
I don't have an OnlyFans.
You should.
There you go.
Should I?
Maybe you should.
Maybe you should.
Okay, maybe I will.
This is your sign.
Probably won't.
Use my referral code.
Okay.
So you've been doing it for a few years though.
Yeah.
That's sick.
I feel like kind of a veteran now.
Veteran.
But I don't know.
When did I start?
Maybe you're more of
No. You would have probably done it just before me. I was probably February/March of 2020. So
Oh, wow.
2.5 years. It's gone
Yeah.
pretty quick.
So it came up because of COVID, because I was like, fuck.
A lot of people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was the same thing. So I had a boyfriend at the time, and he at the time was like, yeah, fuck yeah, do it. So
And did he use it against you?
Yes.
Asshole. Fucking
If
asshole.
you're watching this, fuck you.
If you're a tough guy, I don't want problems. But if you're not a tough guy, I'm a coward, so fuck you.
Yeah, how big is he?
It's not very big.
Okay,
Oh,
cool.
okay.
You got him.
No, I've got him. Nah, but fuck people that do that shit. It's like,
Yeah.
someone tells you something's all good, it's all good. Don't be like a week later,
'Cause
oh,
it's a big deal for me. Like it was for me to be, and obviously I had a friend at the time, and it gave us confidence to both do it at the same time. But having him almost like be like, I need to see everything that you're doing, and like I was just like, it can't. You would just end up looking through every message and being like, fuck,
getting
like,
a bit insecure about it.
100%. Like what would you achieve by looking at that?
I can see it from. I want to be careful with my words because a lot of guys will be watching it. I don't want to speak for all males, but
Yes.
I think I can see it from both points of views.
Yes.
A lot of guys who don't understand it,
Right.
because like to you,
Yes.
it's like it's just a bit of business, it's a bit of work.
Right.
You don't necessarily want to like be with all of these people intimately.
Oh, I do.
Oh, there you go. There you go. If you guys are watching, she wants some intimate fans, so
Just thousands.
just all of them. Just give me the lot. But I think a lot of guys also. This is a controversial thing to say because I could be wrong, so don't fucking go off with
You're
me,
most
guys.
likely wrong.
I'm probably going to be wrong, but I think I'm right. I think a lot of men don't like it when a woman either out-earns them or has that freedom of finance, because a lot of guys might pay for girls' ways or pay for their things more often,
Right.
which is an old school way of thinking,
And if that's what's happening, that's cool.
Exactly. But I think it's not good for men to be like, oh yeah, you can do OnlyFans, like if you've been dating or whatever.
Like, I don't need your permission.
Yeah, exactly. Do what you want
Yeah.
to do. It's nice to take in their feelings. If you've been with someone for years and you're thinking about doing OnlyFans.
Right. That I think each situation is
Exactly.
obviously
That's a good
different.
discussion to sit down and
Oh,
have,
yeah,
and obviously
definitely.
consider what they say about it. If they say
Yeah.
don't do it, it's just about finding a medium ground. Like, okay,
Right.
I'll do it with these exceptions,
Yeah.
maybe. But if it's like, I don't know, it's like your life. You'll do what you want to do. It's like guys have always not liked it when girls are making big money because they get
Right.
scared that the girls don't need them.
Right.
Because the guys will provide money and, safety and all these things
Mm-hmm.
and stuff and sex, whatever. But I think what's your thoughts? Do you think like,
I like with what you were saying about like the reliance on money and stuff. I feel like it's kind of silly because I feel like you should offer more than that.
yeah, oh no, 100%.
Like it's kind of like
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know if you know where we're living though. We're living on the Gold Coast.
Sorry.
And
This is a great
I'm not
dating
from
world.
here.
a lot of people don't have much more to offer here than either sex or money.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
things like that.
Honestly, well, it's kind of
Sounds
a good,
rich coming from me throwing my parties and doing these things and that stuff, but I like to think I'm a good person. So.
Yeah. Well, I think based on that, I think that it's good because then people are kind of like need more to get a girl kind of thing.
Right.
Like there's
It's not
more
like,
expectation.
I got heaps of money. I'd be
Yeah.
like, that's great.
Yeah. And hopefully it makes people better people. So
But naturally, I'm a providing person. I just how I am at heart.
Mm-hmm.
Even since a young age, if I was making $100 a week, I would spend that on making sure that me and the girlfriend that I had at the time could eat a nice meal somewhere.
Yeah.
It just makes me happy providing for people. I'm at no way, shape, or form a sugar daddy, but like
You sure?
I could be. Do you want one?
Do-
Yeah, we can organize.
We can
something.
talk about
we
it
can, we can organize something after. But no, it's like I don't have a problem. Like most girls I've dated have been pretty independent. They've all made pretty good money,
Yeah.
and we've taken turns at paying for certain things. But I do like to provide. But I've never looked at that and been like, oh damn, the girl's not going to need me. But I do.
Yeah.
I do know a lot of guys. You see them commenting on things and be like, I could never let my girl do that because her body's just for my eyes only.
Yeah, I see that a lot.
I feel like it's more healthy because like why would you want to be with someone that's just there for the money? Like I would want someone that's there for me.
emotionally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a
all the-
big believer on having that like emotional connection.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
As corny as it sounds.
He's a lover boy. Like,
I'm a
honestly.
certified
You're a
lover boy.
softie.
I'm for sure a certified lover boy softy when it comes to girls or hanging out or whatever these things. But when it comes to guys, not as much.
You sure?
What?
I could be. I'm not
Well,
a
you
lover.
told me last night.
Oh, fucking yeah, here we go.
In bed?
He's embarrassing me. He's embarrassing me.
What? You're embarrassed about
This
me
is
now?
why you are behind the cameras.
You're embarrassed of me.
No, I'm not.
Jesus. Okay.
What's some future plans? What can we expect to see from you over the next coming little while?
I have a few like things that I want to do. I think with modeling and stuff, it's fucking hard on the Gold Coast to be. I think grow my brand in terms of maybe making a business off that. Maybe whether that's opening some type of vegan related, not necessarily a restaurant. But I have so many. I think I'm also a massive procrastinator.
Yep.
So 1 minute I want to do
you and
this.
me both.
Now fucking, oh my God. Like I probably have ADHD.
Yeah. Do you have like a million ideas all the time that you want to do? And sometimes you'll get so overwhelmed by that you'll do nothing?
I had an idea that I would literally start a vegan mayo company because of how obsessive that I am. And I was like, dream big, girl. Like, you own that mayo company.
You can do anything you want though, technically.
Exactly.
If you want to start like a vegan thing here, let me know because I would love to get involved.
Yeah, cool.
Even though I'm not fully vegan, maybe it doesn't align with you and doing it, but I've always wanted to have something cool here, like a real healthy place for people to eat
Let's do it. Like a vegan fitness restaurant.
Oh my God.
that gives foot massages.
Oh.
Yes.
Head massages as well?
No.
What?
No head massages. Too high chance of nits and head lice.
Oh,
We don't want head lice.
Ew.
Just feet.
A nit's an animal?
Yeah.
Surely.
Yeah.
What the fuck else would it be?
I don't know.
I used to buy them on the black market.
Oh, on that, can I ask you a question?
I
What
would
do you-
believe anything you say.
Yeah, no, I swear. I used to buy, you could buy nits on the black market
Who
from
did
Sydney.
you? What the?
I had a guy.
Our connections.
idea.
I used to buy them, put them in my hair, go to a nightclub and shake my hair around everyone.
You know.
No, I never did that.
Fuck, that's a good idea.
It is a funny idea if you want to be a real prick, but
So, what do you think about like this whole push with people eating insects? Have you heard about that? Like,
I haven't. I haven't.
oh,
No, I
it's like
can't
a
say I have either.
massive thing now. Like they're
I'm
like,
what for you? What's your for you page look like?
well, nothing. But
Nothing.
so like apparently in like 10 years or something, there's not going to be enough food for everyone to eat. So they're wanting everyone to eat insects.
I'll just have grass.
I was a
What?
kid. I used to eat worms when I was a kid. I'm not going to lie.
Yum.
I went through that. Did you say
So you're
yum?
open to it?
Yuck. No, I wouldn't eat that shit now. I mean, like, if I was really fucked up, maybe I would eat. But I don't know, man. It's
What if it had like a barbecue flavoring on it?
no. I don't like that stuff.
Chicken flavoring?
It's weird what's happened though.
Just throwing
Chicken
everything.
flavor. But it is weird that's like what's happened over time with eating and all these things. It's like some animals are deemed normal to eat and some aren't. It's like
Right.
where did that all stem from? Why is
Yeah.
it that things like cows and chickens and stuff, pigs, they're more, why not like, I don't know, a fucking giraffe or something like, not that I want that, but I mean like, I don't understand.
Barbecue giraffe. Like I just can't imagine that
ugh.
being.
I really like watching giraffes
A
fight
neck.
for some reason.
A neck.
Have you watched
like,
them fight? Have you watched videos
I
of
have.
giraffes
Oh,
fighting?
it's crazy. They're
It
like
looks pretty
whipping
fucking
necks.
tense.
Looks very like what's probably the dangerous.
Do you know
Their heads hit at that. at
They-
that
Because
speed.
they have
They
little
kill-
like.
Yeah.
And it's like a hard noise. Like,
they kill a lot of people by trampling them as well.
well,
Really?
They can't
Yeah,
fucking
yep.
see.
Wow.
That's true.
Have you been to Africa?
That's my next on my list.
Ooh.
Yes.
I would fucking go to Africa an hour ago.
Let's go.
Well,
My dad went there. My dad went there when he was really young and like did an old school like backpacking through like
so did my
trucks.
parents.
Yeah, and he loved it. He
But
spent
then-
3 months out
But
there.
then they say like just not. It's too dangerous to do.
Very dangerous. I think you'd want to go to the right place and have like a local look after you.
Right.
So I think South Africa there's some safe places. I want to go to that place where you can eat
Oh.
food with the animals and shit.
Bro, I literally have that saved. The giraffe. It's called Giraffe Manor if you want.
Really?
And it's literally
Oh.
like you eat with the giraffes. They stick their heads in the hotel.
Yeah, no, I've
So
seen
it's like a
videos.
full open. That's what I'm
It's a viral TikTok. It's a tax write-off. It's work.
Exactly.
I'll go. We can all go.
I'm
Can
taking
we?
OnlyFans of the giraffes. It's technically.
Call the
allowed
jet,
to.
Alex, which we don't have. Call the jet that we don't have.
All right, let's go.
I would love. I always wanted to go to Africa, but like you
Same.
said, there is a lot of dangers there. But
Yeah.
I'd love to just do like a safari thing, see all these animals in
Me
the
too.
wild.
Me
It would
too.
probably be a bit of an adrenaline buzz,
Oh, yeah.
100%.
knowing that one of these animals could rip your head
Because
off.
it's literally
Yeah.
open.
Yeah.
It's like open seats.
And none of them are being badly treated or anything. They're just there in their habitat,
That's their
living their
home.
best life. So
Literally. No
You're pretty cool.
cages.
I'd be a bit scared, but I think it'd be fun. Get some cool photos.
Be a story if one jumped on the.
Some good
car or
OnlyFans
something.
content perhaps in Africa. Very good content.
I
What with the
reckon.
animals?
No, not with the animals.
Okay.
We don't do that
Definitely
kind
not.
of stuff.
No, we don't. Definitely don't, Alex. You can leave.
Sorry. Okay.
Too much. No, but yeah, cool. Well, I would like to say thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you
I
so
think
much
we've been
for
going for a
having
while, eh? An hour and a half. Fucking that went quick. I guess we had that little intermission. But yeah, thanks so much for coming on. It was a great chat. If you guys want to find her on social media, which I'm sure you do because she's absolutely stunning, look at the description in here. You can find her Instagram and TikTok if she doesn't. All the other things here.
TikTok keeps getting deleted, but
TikTok's very strict at the moment.
TikTok.
Touch wood, I've been pretty safe with my main TikTok, but as far as I know, you can make a few accounts and just post all of them. And if one goes, cool, you got the other
fuck, I
ones.
just got 10 more just running up.
There you go. Just pay someone like $100 a week to make you heaps of TikToks.
This is
Just
true.
keep posting videos there
I
every
need
day.
to be outsourcing. I'm doing all the work.
We know a
Jeez.
guy. We know a guy.
We do know.
We know a TikTok dealer. So
I need
Deals in
if you
TikToks.
need it. Anyways, guys, you know what to do. Subscribe, like this video, go check her out on social media. Thanks so much for watching and thanks so much for coming.
Falling asleep. He's clapping.
He's snoozing over there. He probably...
I'm like, wake up.
No, he probably smoked a big fat doink before this. Maybe. I'm not going to say who it is, Bailey, but yeah,
Like
he might have.
Bug rolled up, ready for bed.
But yeah, guys, if you want to see our OnlyFans collab, just come to... But yeah. Oh, we didn't hear a no go. Nah. All right, but yeah, thanks so much for coming on. It's been wonderful. It's been real. And I appreciate you sharing all your knowledge and I would say inspiring information.
Oh,
You're a very cool person. No, it's been great.
Right back at you.
Thanks again. See you guys next week. These are my vegan friends.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm vegan.